Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Ladies came in from a hard day of ditch digging and weed pulling, which was extra primo necessary around here. It was getting kind of messed up with the rain and all that. So everybody else is, weeds and branches in their yard. That hard work is going to be rewarded. I'm glad that's going to incredible pizza. So they were extra brave. And I like video games. That was the AFC East. Now, we'll go to the North. Probably one of the most tightest divisions in all of football, with Baltimore and Cincinnati finishing 10-6. Cincinnati not doing too well in the postseason, if they even made it. Baltimore winning the Super Bowl with the same record. Chicago not getting in at all. All right, real quick, I'm cool with the change, the whole mindset with the Bears, because defense may win ball games and win championships, but offense does too, and they've got to have some. And I've made the argument that, well, their defense is so good it puts them in plus territory in short fields. We may even have to go 15 yards for a field goal or no yards, But still, if Hester's not returning them, we're going to need an offense. And Treshman's way is offense. We'll have Mike Tice there for his second year. And I think going forward that this might be a good thing. It might not equate to wins and losses, but we will be competitive this year. And if not, we have video evidence of me running my fat fucking mouth. Back to the North. Pitt finished 8-8, and Cleveland finished 5-11. Again, could be exactly topsy-turvy this year, right? Like the AFC East. The Ravens lost Bolden, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Matt Burke, and Vontae Leach. All five gentlemen made Pro Bowls, and all five gentlemen made at least 3 Pro Bowls. The total between Bolden's 3, Lewis's 13, Reed's 9, Burke's 6, and Vontae Leach's 6 is 30. 3, 8, and 6, 34. 34 Pro Bowls. Lost. Center, safety, fullback, linebacker, receiver. All money players. And picked up Kyle Juszczyk in the 4th round, a fullback from Harvard. Now, that might do 6 years from now once he knows the way, but that's not going to pay off. Cleveland, they lost Josh Cribbs, Muhammad Massaquoi, Ben Watson, and Colt McCoy. I picked up David Nelson from Buffalo, Devon Best from Miami, and Jason Campbell from Chicago. So now Brandon Wheaton, if he doesn't have that person in back of him to spur him on, has a guy in back of him to egg him on. And Jason Campbell. Cincinnati lost Bruce Gronkowski, backup quarterback. They picked up Tyler Eifert from Notre Dame, running back Giovanni Bernard from North Carolina, and John Skelton from Arizona. Now, with the year Andy Dalton had, I don't know why you would bring in John Skelton except to back up Andy Dalton, because he was ready to play and barring some unknown injury that I don't know about. It seemed to me that would only be to back up Dalton and maybe a little healthy, frenemy, like cooperation kind of thing. We did Cleveland. Let's see. Pittsburgh's on the other one. They lost Mike Wallace and Rashard Mendenhall. I picked up LeVar Bell from Michigan State. Obviously, probably be a good fit. Marcus Wheaton, a wide receiver from the Beavers. Bruce Gradkowski went to Cincinnati. Might be nice. And they drafted Landry Jones. Well, it's the first time hearing of that because once football is over, once the actual playing season is over, I tune out football altogether. Don't even watch the draft. Might get passing stuff on it, but it's 26 weeks with football and 26 weeks without football. And the woman kind of appreciates that. We're nearing those 26 with football, and we're going to get started with the little yakking. So Landry Jones is with the Steelers. It'd be that John Skelton, Bruce Gradkowski, maybe get into some games, my positive things are out of a complete and total prejudice for the state of Oklahoma. Or whatever success he would be is just because of that. So I don't want to go into it. Again, how they finish, Cleveland could be 11-5 and win the division. Maybe not make any hay in the playoffs, but I don't think that'll happen. But Baltimore can't be tied with Cincinnati. Well, they can be, but just not for first. Complete shakeup. Now in the South, Houston finished 12-4, Indy 11-5, Tennessee 6-10, and Jacksonville 2-14. Let's do these. They're all the divisions have 3 teams that are close alphabetically: Houston, Indy, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, New York, Miami, and New York. New England, Miami, and New York. Now Houston lost Kevin Walter and Justin Forsett. They picked up DeAndre Hopkins from the Tigers at Clemson and Ed Reed and his 9 Pro Bowls and whatever else he has left in the tank to bolster a real pass-happy, prototypical AFC division. Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Tennessee all love to throw the ball around. Now, you of course give Arian Foster and Houston the edge of whatever running game they have, and then it equated here. Indy got better quarterback play, finished 11-5, and Tennessee and Jacksonville just trying to find their way. So, though they are pass happy, and picking up Ed Reed would go a long way to maybe bolstering their secondary. 9 Pro Bowls. He's been around for a while. I don't know how many years he's got left, 3 or 4, 2 or 3. It would help until maybe something comes along down the line. Indy lost Austin Collie and Donnie Avery. We'll find out, when we do the rest of the AFC and the NFC where they went when we do the losses and additions. Now, they picked up Ahmad Bradshaw from the Giants, maybe to bolster their running game. Andre Luck to Giant, I don't know. Darius Haywood Bay and Matt Hasselbeck. Wow. Nobody from the AFC, and especially from their division, are going to be ready to tackle Ahmad Bradshaw or to be ready for his ways on the field. I think that's going to be big, and that will give Indy, with Haywood Bay out of the mire and muck of Oakland, maybe he can shed his ways and do something too. With seeing this for the first time off screen here, I would go with Indy winning the division. Houston right behind, a game or 2 behind, maybe not making the playoffs, maybe making them. Well, he had the second wild card. Jacksonville, they lost Lauren Robinson and Rashad Jennings. Picked up Luke Jokel, drafted him second overall. They got Muhammad Massaquoi, Denard Robinson, who they have listed here as a wide receiver, and Justin Forsett from Houston. I'm going to still keep Indy. Let me do Tennessee real quick. Lost Hutchinson, their guard, 7 Pro Bowls. Hasselbeck, and tight end Jerry Cook. They picked up Sean Green from the Jets. Chance Warmack was drafted 10th overall, a guard from Alabama. Picked up Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kevin Walter from Houston, and Justin Hunter was drafted at the beginning of the second round from the Volunteers. You know, that's fine and all, but that still may be a year out and still not on par with the level of talent or even potential talent from the other 3 teams in the division. That might drop them to 4th, with Jacksonville 3rd, 6-10, 5-11, both of those. I don't know. Now out west. Denver finished 13-3. San Diego finished 7-9. Oakland was 4-12, and Kansas City was 2-14. Denver lost Willis McGahee. They picked up Wes Welker. Monte Ball was drafted in the second round from the Badgers, and Dan Coppin came from the Patriots. Bolstered the offensive line for Manning. Still Tom Brady's number 1 target. That, hey, might be some good work from that Denver front office. So even though drinking and driving is terrible and you shouldn't do it and you shouldn't get away with doing it, meaning drink and drive anyway, and just make it home, what else do you do? I spent this last week driving home from a whole bunch of different places, and I could probably metabolize a lot more alcohol than the average person, so I'll be all right still, I got to know my limit. 1 beer, 1 mixed drink, and I'm out. Nightstand there, we're up and out. So those guys in Denver, the front room guys that got pinched for DUI, as bad as it is, this is what they're doing. This is what Denver's doing. Wes Welker, Monte Ball, and Dan Coppin. Super Bowl, address the needs. I don't know. Let's see. These are in alphabetical order. Kansas City lost Steve Preston, Peyton Hillis. They have Peyton Hillis? Yes, sir. They lost Peyton Hillis, Steve Preston, Matt Castle, Brady Quinn, and Kevin Boss. When all those people were with their last teams, I loved them. Picked up Eric Fisher, 1st overall, the tackle. Got Alex Smith, out from behind San Francisco. I got Donnie Avery from Indy. Drafted Niall Davis from Arkansas. I got Anthony Fasano. Maybe good enough. I don't know. But definitely not to rival Denver. You might split with them at best. But, some teams about. Some, like the first 2 divisions, anything can happen. But Oakland, moving on down here real quick. Got rid of Carson Palmer, Haywood Bay, of course. Mike Gibson, we talked about earlier, and Brandon Myers. They picked up Matt Flynn from Seattle, drafted Tyler Wilson from Arkansas. They got Josh Cribbs and Rashad Jennings. Your guess is as good as mine with that. Somehow it always seems to work out how it does every year. and only the teams who are at the bottom sneak to second and sneak to the first or second wild card. And the rest of the years it's like this. But I can see a real shakeup this year. Not only just the additions and losses, but how teams are just going to approach the season. Are we going to sit back and collect a check? Or, we're going to play the game of football or go out here and hand it to these assholes? So, Flynn, Tyler Wilson can be a great quarterback. Josh Krebs, we'll see what he can do. Rashard Jennings are the components needed to maybe spur something on. Instead of losing by 3, they win by 1, and somehow they may pick up a few games. That's San Diego's last team. Lost Dante Rosario. Drafted Fluker from Alabama. Danny Woodhead, they got Danny Woodhead from New England. And Keenan Allen from California. And San Diego 7-9, very well be the thing there. The West was the other division. Denver, once they won the 11 games in a row, so that means they were 2-3, and right in the middle of that AFC West mire, and they won 11 in a row, and they never had to worry about those second place teams again. Because pretty much if you're finished under 500, you were under 500 for most of the year. It took what the Bears did a couple years ago when Cutler broke his thumb, go from 7-1 to 8-8. That was still 500. So if you are under 500, chances are you end up under 500 or maybe even at 500. It's the teams that are above 500 or above that stay at 500 or above. And that's how they could change in any division. Cleveland starts out 2-1. The rest of these bums are 1-2 or 0-3. Then, either they all finish 8-8 or it's different. Now, the West, Denver's got it, right? They've got it. San Diego, man. Oakland, little better work. And Kansas City may not be enough to rise from last, though they may do better and put the 2-loss onus on another team in another division somewhere. Hopefully Green Bay. We'll do the NFC next week.